Hello and welcome back to Beyond the Panels. This will be our final episode for some time, maybe ever. So, I thought I would prepare you for the bleak future that is to come without me. So we are doing dystopian comics today. I picked some of my favorites. My first one is DMZ, which is by Brian Wood. This one came out right around the height of the Iraq War, if I remember correctly. But it's disturbingly timely now. It is about America's second Civil War, and it's when the U.S. is too overstretched with the forever wars overseas that insurgents in America rise up, and it is about a wartime journalist that is reporting from the demilitarized zone, which is New York City. So this was, I believe, a 10-volume run of books. It's really awesome. Brian Wood does a lot of really good dystopian stuff. He also did like an ecological dystopian one, The Massive, that we have as well. But this is a really well-written, hard-hitting one. It was really timely at the time it was written, and it's timely again now. My next one is one of my favorites. This one is The True Lives of the Fabulous Killjoys. If you're a fan of The Umbrella Academy, this one is actually written by Gerard too, who is also from the band My Chemical Romance. And it's by Becky Cloonan, that did the art in this, who did a bunch of like indie stuff right around that time. And it is a dystopian future where the world is ruled by tyrannical mega corporations like Better Living Industries. And it's about a group of freedom fighters that save this girl that grows up to be sort of an unwanted, unwanted by her. She is seen as sort of a messiah character, so she has to sort of rise up and lead the revolt against the corporate overlords. And if I remember correctly, I think they actually did an album of music to go along with this guy. So if you're a fan of Gerard Way, if you're a fan of Umbrella Academy, this is definitely a cool B-side that doesn't get enough love. My next one is a really popular one. This one's Lazarus. It's written by Rucka, who does lots of really good like crime noir stuff. He wrote lots of Batman. He did Whiteout and a lot of other things. But this one is another dystopian one in the future where the world is kind of divvied up around these super rich ancestral families that live in these, sort of ivory towers, and the rest of the world is just the wasteland with the poor dregs. And each of these ruling families has their own, like, sort of enforcer that protects the families, oversees their interests, and has access to, like, the most state-of-the-art training technology, and those are called their Lazarus. And this story follows the Lazarus of the Carlisle family called Forever. And it's all about how she deals with the other families, how she deals with the wasteland, and struggles with her own identity. And this one was another really cool one about sort of the dangers of technology run amok and celebrity culture. It's called Number One with a Bullet. And it's about, in the not-too-distant future, much like Google Glass, there is a sort of like these contact lenses that you wear all the time that allows you to browse the internet, to record. And this is all about what happens when a sex tape of an assistant to a really famous talk show host is leaked. And she has to deal with stalkers and the media blowback and the invasion of her privacy and consent. So this one is a really cool one. The art's pretty awesome, and it's just a really creepy, like, horror sci-fi take. My next one is by Brian K. Vaughn, which you might recognize from the massively popular Saga series, but this is another of his series that actually wrapped up, so you can read the whole thing already, but it's Paper Girls, and it follows a group of paper girls delivering papers in 1988 when they stumble across time travel, and they find monsters from the future and their older selves and alternate realities and timelines. So they see like the post-apocalyptic world of like Y2K run amok and far-off future of 2016 and prehistoric times. But it's a really trippy sort of sci-fi cyberpunk, but with 80s nostalgia. My next one, this one is called Prez, and it's actually a reboot of a series from the 70s, actually, where a teenager becomes president. But in this revamp, it's a world where corporations can run for president, and because of that, they have lowered the voting age and the required age for presidency, and instead of voting properly, you vote on Twitter. And this happens when a viral fast food employee called Corn Dog Girl wins the presidency, and she must sort of combat the corrupt system and the shadow government that is run by the massive corporations and lobbyists of the world. My last one is a French comic by Marc-Antoine Mathieu, and it is all about the look at modern society and its reliance on structures, both actual structures and like ideological ones, like faith and language and things like that. So it's a very Kafka-esque sort of like horrible reality, and it's written in written and drawn in very stark blacks and whites. So it's a really neat sort of bleak future that explores the structures that we've built upon ourselves and how we as society interact with it. So I hope you found some cool things to read. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to look out for me this summer. We're going to do some reels on Instagram and Facebook, so I'll still be giving suggestions. And feel free to come check out our massive graphic novel selection.